Welcome to the show, everybody. It's the Crypto Lark. Today, we're going to be talking about the FarmaTrust token sale. These guys are bringing blockchain to the supply chain for the pharmaceutical industry. We're going to be talking about just what that entails after a quick shout out to everyone who's been hitting that like button, and of course, everybody who's been subscribing to the channel. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, make sure you hit that button down below to stay up to date with all of the latest in the crypto space. Furthermore, this is of course not professional financial advice. This is just a dude talking about cryptocurrencies on the internet. This is a token sale. Please do always understand there is a certain amount of risk in getting involved. Please do your own due diligence before putting your own money on the line. Furthermore, this token sale unfortunately does exclude citizens of the United States and Singapore, and the team at FarmaTrust has reached out to me to do a sponsored review of their token sale. However, I have of course reserved the right to do an open and honest review, so let's get into it. In order to understand the solution that FarmaTrust is trying to bring in, we of course have to understand what the problem is that they're trying to solve. Now, the pharmaceutical industry has been plagued by counterfeit drugs for a long time. Now, obviously there's the problem of fake drugs just being fake and not actually curing the problems, but there's also fake drugs that are just made badly and actually end up killing people. Now, in some developing countries, up to 30% of the drugs can be fakes, which is crazy. Not to mention bad stock control practices. There can be shortages, oversupply, stock goes bad because it's oversupplied. Now look, the deaths and the counterfeits and all this stuff, this of course leads to more regulation, which leads to inevitably more cost and more problems in the industry, less efficiency, right? And of course the whole thing's non-transparent, which is of course a giant problem as well. Now, how does FarmaTrust and blockchain technology aim to solve this problem? Well, blockchain technology is actually a really good fit for supply chain because it provides that immutable record of a product. Now, here essentially they're looking to put serial numbers on the blockchain. We're going to be bringing in trust that you're getting the real product that you think you're getting, anonymity because it's all blockchain. You're not saying, "Hi, I'm Bob, I need to know about these drugs." You're checking a serial number for authenticity. And of course, it is a decentralized service so that no one single point of failure can exist to take the whole system down. This is all going to be done via their web platform, which is going to be called Zoe. Zoe! Great name. Now, this is going to be compatible with any hardware, any software moving forward. They hope that because of the easy adaptability of the system that it will be future-proofed. Now, they're of course hoping for global level access, but also worldwide compliance. And I think worldwide compliance is something that's easier said than done, but nevertheless, that is the intention. Now, they're also hoping to leverage artificial intelligence in the future to help manage the supply chain, to help manage stock levels, for example. There's also, of course, a lot of potential here for IoT, really looking again the Internet of Things, and of course for big data. Now, taking it back to the actual verification process, so remember this will be serial numbers on the blockchain, essentially. And so you'll be able to verify that using an app on your phone. But let's imagine that you don't have a smartphone. You can scan an app. Well, you can actually do a text verification for older models of phone. You'll be able to simply text a number. Or let's imagine that you've got a disability and you can't text very well, whatever it might be. There will even be a voice support service for verifying. So a lot of potential there for that. It's time to talk about the token. Now, the token that you're actually buying during the sale is used to generate on a weekly basis the utility tokens that actually carry the pharmaceutical packets from point A to B, C, D, E, and on through the chain, of course. So that utility token will go through the life cycle. The drug is created, the item is packaged, the packet is labeled. Now, we haven't entered the blockchain yet. Once that gets ready to leave, then it gets scanned, then it gets put on the blockchain. So now we have used that utility token generated by the FTT token, which is what you're buying during the sale. So any big pharmaceutical company who wants to issue out millions or hundreds of millions of packets of whatever every week will need to have a lot of these utility tokens sitting around. So now we are on the blockchain, hops into the truck. Of course, we have scanned it with the FarmaTrust app every step of the way. Now let's say we're going to the hospital. So once it leaves the truck, it'll be scanned again. Once it hits the hospital, it'll be scanned again. And of course, once we see the doctor prescribe that to the patient, the doctor will scan that. And of course, hopefully the patient will scan it too to verify that they have indeed got the legitimate product. Now, of course, the great thing is, of course, that is totally verifiable all the way back to the manufacturer, which is very good. You can know when it was produced, so that you can know there's been no tampering with the dates on the labels or with the product itself. Also, the FarmaTrust tokens will be used to buy different services from the FarmaTrust company. So they can actually be used within that ecosystem to buy premium services, for example. Before we get into the team, I did want to quickly mention about partnerships. Now, they are in talks with a variety of different companies who are looking at trialing this blockchain solution for pharmaceuticals. However, we haven't had any official announcements yet about who exactly is going to be involved. So hopefully we'll see someone coming out here and, making an official announcement as far as partnerships go. Now, having a look at the team, Raja is the CEO. Now, his experience is not in blockchain, but actually in marketing. That could be a real asset for the team moving forward. They do, of course, have to get their message out there. Now, Anthony St. John, he is a member of the House of Lords. That's kind of cool, I guess, but more important, he's actually a very well-connected person with different chairman positions, for example, and advisory on a lot of different boards. So that's potentially a very good person networking-wise to have in. And this is a really great advisor to have on here as well, and that's David Allen Cohen. Now, he is the founder of Decentral AI. They are building a blockchain-based software platform for cybersecurity. He's an advisor at Hashgraph, foundation member over for the IOTA Foundation, so he's a very good person to have on board as well, advising the project. So that is very cool to see. Let's have a look at the roadmap. Now, they've actually been working on this for quite a while. Really, inception of idea back in May 2016, but actual real research starting at the end of 2016 on it, putting the team together in 2017. That brings us up to where we are now, where we have that token distribution event coming up. As the year rolls forward, we'll of course be seeing the alpha and the betas coming out in the second quarter. Third quarter, we'll see, of course, ongoing business development. But I think the real important thing to underline here is that the product release of Zoe is not until the second quarter, scheduled for April currently, of 2019. So that is more than a year from now before we see the full product release. Quite a while in crypto land, but that is the schedule that we have for them on the roadmap. Some potential concerns that you might want to think about. One, I think for a lot of people out there, is going to be the philosophical concern of, wait a second, aren't Big Pharma bad? Do we really want to help Big Pharma? Well, look, and I suppose I could say to that yes, there are some operators within the pharmaceutical industry which have not operated in the interest of their customers. However, the reality is that the counterfeit drug problem is real and it's big, and the right medications need to get to the right people. I think that's an important problem to solve. Another possible concern here is that actually big companies, big pharmaceutical companies, they can be conservative, they can be slow. Will we actually get adoption? Now look, again, as mentioned, the full product release is not until April next year. That's quite a ways away. I think in that time they could probably find some very interested parties and really sign some good partnerships potentially. But that is something to keep in mind as well. Now, there is a lot of competition in this space too. Modem, VeChain, Walton, Wabi, Origin Trail, they all go about it in slightly different ways. Modem is also focusing on the pharmaceutical industry, right? And they've already got the earlier mover advantage to FarmaTrust. They're using RFID technology, of course, to put in the boxes themselves versus a single packet solution, which is a little bit different. Potentially, we could even see a complementary system there where Modem could take care of the shipping of the crate, but perhaps FarmaTrust could be dealing with the blockchain tracking of every individual packet. Potential. Now, VeChain, of course, is also very focused on anti-counterfeiting, and on down the line. All these projects are working in a similar space, but that doesn't mean that there isn't room for lots of competition in the space either. I don't see a world where only VeChain deals with supply chains. I think there'll be a lot of players in the space, so even though there is competition, they are very focused on one particular industry, and perhaps that is an advantage here, or it could also be a disadvantage. That's something for you to think about. Ethereum. Of course, as we all know, Ethereum needs to scale. That it's not just FarmaTrust who depends on that, but a lot of projects do depend on Ethereum actually scaling to the level that it needs to, and for transactions to be cheap enough on Ethereum where it actually makes sense to do this every step of the way and to have it fast and efficient. And of course, you might even want to think, well, okay, if the box has been scanned on the blockchain, what's to stop potential product tampering of that box? Well, hopefully you'd see if the product has been tampered with if you're the end customer, right? But nevertheless, that is a possible potential concern you might want to think about as well. At least with the RFID technology, you do know if someone's been tampering in the box, you can see, hear things and register sound and temperature differentials and all these different things. So there's some potential there as well. Anyway, overall, it seems like we have a very strong team here. We didn't even look, of course, in this video down at some of the other team members, but they do have a rather robust team with some pretty good advisors on board. Certainly, the pharmaceutical industry is an industry that is in need of such a supply chain solution. The problem is real. Now, if you do want to get involved in the sale, there will be a discount of 20% for the first 200 million tokens sold during the pre-sale. That's starting on the 15th of February. The main sale is a month later on the 15th of March. 60% of the tokens in total will be up for sale. One Ethereum will get you about 9,200 tokens. There is a hard cap of $45 million though. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think about the FarmaTrust token sale in the comment section down below. Long live the blockchain, and peace out till next time.